First Contact Protocol. The quantum alert chimed softly in Commander Elena Reyes' neural implant, pulling her from a rare moment of sleep. She was fully alert before her eyes opened, the implant already feeding her the preliminary data. An alien fleet had just crossed the heliopause, the boundary marking the edge of our solar system. Status report, she demanded as she strode into the command center buried 2 kilometers beneath the Pacific Ocean floor. The facility, known only to a select few hundred individuals on the planet, served as humanity's primary defense coordination hub. 97 vessels, Commander, Lieutenant Akira Tanaka replied, his fingers dancing over holographic interfaces. Configuration matches nothing in our database. They're maintaining tight formation and on direct approach to Earth. Elena nodded, her face betraying no emotion. This moment had been anticipated for over a century. After humanity's discreet detection of radio signals from the stars in the early 2000s, Earth's nations had made a collective decision that would alter the course of human development. They would advance technologically, but present a primitive face to the cosmos. Broadcast status, she asked. All countermeasures operational, Communications Chief Diana Mbeki confirmed. Our satellite network is transmitting the approved electromagnetic spectrum profile, fossil fuel emissions, limited nuclear capabilities, basic digital communications. The masking field is stable. Elena allowed herself a grim smile. To any observing alien civilization, Earth appeared to be a Type 0.7 civilization, just beginning to harness atomic energy, still reliant on chemical propulsion for limited space exploration, and broadcasting entertainment signals filled with fictional depictions of aliens that ranged from benevolent to hostile. The reality couldn't be further from this carefully crafted illusion. Alert the Security Council. Implement First Contact Protocol Epsilon. Throughout the next 12 hours, Earth's hidden defense grid came online. Quantum displacement generators, gravity lensing arrays, and neural connection hubs linked the minds of thousands of specially trained operators worldwide. All while Earth's public face remained unchanged. Commercial flights continued, social media buzzed with trivial concerns, and politicians debated mundane issues. The alien fleet slowed as it approached Mars orbit. Elena studied the high-resolution scans of the vessels, noting their organic metallic hybrid construction and the unusual energy signatures emanating from what appeared to be weapon systems. They're scanning us, Tanaka announced. Comprehensive sweep across all conventional electromagnetic spectrums. Let them look, Elena replied. Maintain the illusion. The largest vessel, nearly 3 kilometers in length, positioned itself at the front of the formation as they crossed lunar orbit. Earth's conventional military forces had been discreetly prepared without public knowledge. Fighter jets remained grounded citing mechanical issues, submarine fleets went silent for routine exercises, and satellite communications experienced temporary outages in key regions. Incoming transmission, Mbeki announced. Broadcasting on multiple frequencies, using mathematical sequences as a primer. Elena nodded. Let's hear what they have to say. The alien message emerged from the speakers, translated in real time by Earth's quantum AI systems. Attention, primitive world. We are the Vexari Dominion, masters of 16 star systems. Your planet has been selected for incorporation into our empire. Surrender your governing authorities and prepare for occupation. Resistance is unnecessary and will result in biological reduction protocols. You have 1 planetary rotation to comply. The command center remained silent as the message repeated twice more before cutting off. Charming, Elena remarked dryly. Analysis. Language patterns suggest a hierarchical militant culture, offered Dr. Samir Ibrahim, the center's tenopsychologist. The reference to biological reduction likely means selective extermination to reduce our population to manageable levels. Standard colonization tactic. Elena turned to the assembled staff. Send the prepared response. Mbeki transmitted Earth's carefully crafted message. Simple binary code converted to radio waves, the mathematical equivalent of "we receive." We understand. We fear. We obey. Now we wait, Elena said. Monitor their reactions closely. The alien fleet adjusted formation, spreading into a hemispherical array above Earth's northern hemisphere. Their energy signatures fluctuated as weapon systems appeared to power up. They're not waiting for our full rotation, Tanaka observed. Energy buildup consistent with weapons charging. Elena wasn't surprised. Predictable. They assumed we'd resist or try some desperate last stand. When we immediately capitulated, they suspected a trap. Multiple smaller craft deploying, the sensor officer announced. Appears to be a scout formation. A dozen smaller vessels descended toward Earth's atmosphere, their trajectory aimed toward major population centers. Beijing, New York, London, Moscow, Tokyo. They're confused, Dr. Ibrahim noted, monitoring the quantum interceptors that passively analyze the alien communications. Our planet shows no defense systems, no shield technology, nothing beyond rudimentary satellites and a handful of primitive space stations. Yet we achieved radio technology centuries ago by their estimation. We should have advanced further. That's precisely what's bothering them, Elena confirmed. By their developmental models, we should either have planetary defenses or have destroyed ourselves by now. The middle ground we've crafted doesn't fit their understanding of technological progression. The scout ships entered the upper atmosphere, triggering automated alerts across conventional military channels worldwide. Public panic would begin soon, exactly as planned. On the primary view screen, Elena watched as the largest alien vessel adjusted position, its forward section beginning to split open like a blooming flower, revealing what could only be its primary weapon system. They're targeting Shanghai, Tanaka announced. Energy buildup suggests a kinetic bombardment capability. Elena checked the deployment status of Earth's actual defense systems, all green, all undetected by the alien sensors. 150 years of technological development, hidden from the stars. They expect resistance, Elena said quietly. They're about to demonstrate their power by destroying one of our largest cities to show us the futility of fighting back. Commander, Mbiki interrupted, we're receiving a direct communication attempt, tight beam transmission targeted at our government centers. Elena nodded. Put it through. A holographic projection materialized in the center of the command deck. The alien was bipedal, but clearly not humanoid, its body covered in iridescent scales, with 4 arms and a head featuring compound eyes arranged in a circular pattern around a central sensory cluster. I am Supreme Commander Vex Keller of the Vexari Dominion, the alien announced, its words translated by Earth's eye. Your immediate surrender was wise, but we detect deception. Your technological level does not match our intelligence assessments. Explain this discrepancy immediately. Elena stepped forward, allowing the alien to see her. The response she would give had been prepared decades ago, refined by game theorists, psychologists, and military strategists. Great Commander, she began, injecting artificial trembling into her voice. We are a simple people. Our technology advances slowly because we focus on cultural achievements and spiritual growth. We have no means to resist your great power. The alien commander's sensory cluster pulsed with colors that Earth's systems interpreted as skepticism and aggression. Unacceptable explanation. We have monitored your transmissions. Your species is fractious, competitive, and violent. You should have either advanced further or destroyed yourselves. Your current state is an anomaly. The energy readings from the alien flagship spiked dramatically. To ensure compliance and resolve this anomaly, we will now demonstrate our power. The population center you call Shanghai will be removed. Prepare your species for incorporation into the Dominion. Further deception will result in additional corrections. The transmission cut off abruptly. Elena straightened her uniform and turned to her crew. The time for deception was nearly over. All stations, prepare for revelation protocol. Alert the Security Council that we have reached the point of no return. She paused, then added quietly, And may whatever gods exist forgive us for what comes next. On the view screen, the alien flagship's weapon reached full charge, a blinding point of energy forming at its center, aimed directly at Earth. The silent response. Supreme Commander Vex Kalor watched with satisfaction as his flagship's primary disintegration cannon reached full power. These humans were hiding something. Their technological profile made no sense to Vexari analysis, but it hardly mattered now. One demonstration would shatter any thought of resistance. Target locked on human population center, his weapons officer reported. Atmospheric conditions optimal for maximum effect. Fire, Vex Kalor ordered. The command never reached the weapons systems. Instead, alarms blared across the bridge as sensor officers called out in confusion. Energy spike detected on planetary surface. Multiple signatures emerging from oceans and landmasses. Stealth field collapse detected across the entire planet. Vex Kalor's compound eyes widened as the sensor readings flooded his neural interface. The primitive world below had suddenly transformed. Where moments before their scans had shown only basic satellite technology and rudimentary defense systems, now thousands of advanced energy signatures blossomed across the planet's surface, oceans, and atmosphere. Impossible, he hissed. Full defensive posture. Raise all shields. It was already too late. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Commander Elena Reyes gave a single command. Execute. Earth's response came not as missiles or energy beams, but as absolute silence. A quantum field expanded outward from the planet at superluminal speed, invisible to conventional sensors. As it passed through the Vexari fleet, it selectively disrupted the specific molecular bonds that held their technology together. On the Vexari flagship, Vex Kalor watched in horror as his vessel simply began to disassemble around him. Not violently. There were no explosions, no fire, but with terrifying precision. Bulkheads separated along molecular seams. Energy conduits disconnected cleanly. Weapon systems disintegrated into component parts. Within 17 seconds, the mighty Vexari invasion fleet had been transformed into clouds of perfectly sorted materials, none larger than a grain of sand, drifting harmlessly in orbit. The only exceptions were the life support modules containing the Vexari themselves, which remained intact but powerless. Status report, Elena requested calmly. Quantum disassembly field performed exactly to specifications, Tanaka confirmed. All Vexari vessels neutralized. Life support modules preserve as directed. Zero collateral damage to orbital infrastructure. No debris large enough to survive atmospheric entry. Recovery teams. Deploying now. We'll have the Vexari commanders secured in the lunar containment facility within the hour. Elena nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. Humanity had just revealed itself to the cosmos in the most dramatic way possible. There was no going back. Send word to the Security Council. The revelation protocol is complete. We're moving to Phase 2. 12 hours later, Supreme Commander Vex Kalor found himself in a sterile white room, separated from his senior officers, with no technology within reach. The door slid open, and Commander Reyes entered, accompanied by 2 guards who carried no visible weapons. I believe we have much to discuss, Supreme Commander, Elena said, taking the seat across from him. What are you? Vex Kalor demanded, his translator implant apparently still functional. What did you do to my fleet? We are humans, Elena replied simply. As for your fleet, we disassembled it. Not destroyed, disassembled. The materials are being recycled as we speak. Impossible. Your civilization showed no signs of such technology. Our intelligence was exactly what we wanted you to see, Elena interrupted. For the past century and a half, Earth has maintained a planetary-scale deception. We developed our technology in secret while presenting a primitive face to the stars. Vex Kalor's compound eyes pulsed with colors indicating extreme confusion. Why? Advanced civilizations seek recognition, trade, alliance. Elena's expression hardened. Because we intercepted enough transmissions from civilizations like yours to understand the fate of discovered worlds. Integration, subjugation, or elimination. We chose a fourth option: preparation. In a secure conference room beneath Geneva, the United Earth Security Council reviewed the after-action reports. Representatives from all 12 global regions sat around a circular table, their faces grave despite the flawless victory. "The containment is complete," announced Councillor Zhao. "All knowledge of our defensive capabilities has been restricted to the captured Vexari leadership. But this success creates a new problem. We have revealed ourselves. The Vexari Dominion will notice when their fleet fails to return. They already have," confirmed Councillor Okafor, looking up from her data feed. "Our deep space monitoring has detected communication bursts from the edge of our solar system. The Dominion has established a quarantine line at the heliopause. They are not approaching further, but they are watching." Admiral Santiago, the military representative, leaned forward. "This was always the risk of the Revelation Protocol. Once we showed our hand, we would need to be prepared for escalation. The question is, do we wait for them to make the next move, or do we take the initiative?" Elena, who had just arrived from the lunar containment facility, addressed the council. "Supreme Commander Vexkeller has provided valuable insight. The Dominion controls 16 systems, but it's not as unified as they led us to believe. There are internal political factions, and their technological advantage over other civilizations is narrower than they claim." "Can we negotiate?" asked Councillor Mueller. "Possibly," Elena replied, "but from a position of demonstrated strength, not perceived weakness. The Vexari respect power above all else. We've shown them ours. Now we need to show them that we can either be a powerful ally or a devastating enemy." "And the captured Vexari troops?" Councillor Zhao inquired. "We treat them with respect and dignity," Elena stated firmly. "We are not conquerors or oppressors. We defended ourselves with minimal loss of life. That distinction matters, not just to us, but to how the wider galactic community will perceive humanity once word of this incident spreads." The council chambers fell silent as the implications settled over the room. For generations, humanity had hidden its true nature from the stars. That era was now over. 3 days later, Elena stood on an observation platform overlooking Earth from the lunar base. Behind her, a delegation of 7 Vexari officials, including Vexkiller, waited with their human escorts. "You deceived us completely," Vexkiller admitted, his translator conveying a tone of reluctant respect. "Our preliminary analysis suggested your world had experienced an abnormally long medieval period before rapidly developing combustion and nuclear technologies. We expected primitive defenses and easy conquest. That was precisely the profile we cultivated," Elena confirmed. "While publicly using fossil fuels and showcasing basic rocket technology, we developed quantum engineering, gravity manipulation, and molecular control systems in classified facilities. We built our real infrastructure inside mountains, beneath oceans, and in hollowed-out asteroids. But why reveal yourselves by saving one city? You could have maintained the deception, allowed us to destroy the Shanghai, then struck back. Our guard would have been completely down." Elena turned to face the alien commander. "Because we are not like you, Commander. We do not sacrifice our people to gain tactical advantage. Every human life matters. That is not our weakness, it is our strength." She gestured toward Earth, gleaming blue and white against the blackness of space. "We're sending you and your officers back to the Dominion with a message. Humanity seeks neither conquest nor conflict. We wish to establish peaceful relations with all spacefaring civilizations. But make no mistake," her voice hardened, "we will defend ourselves with absolute efficiency against any aggression." Vexkiller's compound eyes pulsed with colors that the human translators interpreted as thoughtful calculation. "The Dominion Council will not easily accept a new power of your capability. There will be those who demand we assemble an armada to destroy your world regardless of the cost." "They are welcome to try," Elena replied calmly. But before they make that decision, they should know that what you experienced was our most conservative defensive option. We chose to preserve lives and even materials. We have other options we preferred not to demonstrate. As the Vexari delegation boarded their transport for the journey back to the Heliopause, where their civilization waited, Elena received a priority communication from Earth. "Commander," Admiral Santiago's voice came through her neural implant. "Long-range sensors have detected multiple transit signatures from at least 6 different vectors, all converging on our system. It seems the Vexari weren't the only ones watching us." Elena watched the transport depart, carrying the first aliens to experience humanity's hidden power, and lived to tell about it. "Understood, Admiral," she replied. "Alert the Council. First Contact Protocol is no longer relevant. Initiate Diplomatic Readiness Protocol Alpha." Humanity had stepped onto the galactic stage. There would be no going back to the shadows. The silent guardians of Earth would now have to learn a new role, that of visible protectors, and perhaps someday, trusted allies among the stars. But first, they would need to make it absolutely clear that Earth was not a prize to be claimed. It was, and always would be, humanity's protected home.